magistrate or district justice, is to keep that encryption. And I would ask that the board possibly send a letter or an email to the county commissioners supporting the fact that we stay under encryption on our police radios.
Chief, question for you. In that encryption, okay, are there situations where there are minors involved and you're discussing those minors over your current encrypted radios? Wouldn't that be affected also?
It would. I mean, the dispatch is affected. I know newspaper articles, no offense to anyone in the room, but newspaper articles have been written on dispatch, and it's completely, when we get a dispatch call, there's a lot of times where you go to the call and it's lost in translation or excitement or whatever it might be. So that could be potentially something that's not even current. It's again, I think there's transparency questions, and it's not hiding anything, it's protecting. And I know that that's sometimes difficult to understand. It's, you know, the secretiveness of things is sometimes taken as not good. But this is, you know, somebody dispatching a police officer to a domestic situation or to any kind of situation where somebody could be waiting for us. In fact, one of the chiefs spoke about officers calling out traffic stops and people showing up at those traffic stops. So now the officer is not only contending with the people that they stop, but people that are there either to give them a hard time, ask them questions, to ambush them. Who knows what would possibly be. And by no means am I saying that every citizen is out to get a police officer. I don't mean it that way at all. But this is just another layer of protection. But it also protects people when we're giving their dates of birth over a radio, getting a phone number over the radio. The county dispatchers do not give social security numbers over the radio. And when we're trying to confirm somebody's identity, we call in. And then we confirm that, maybe the last four of the social, something along those lines. So,
And correct me if I'm wrong, but that radio traffic's subpoenable anyway.
it eventually is, sure, with the radio records. It's just...
If it's ever needed, it is subpoenable.
Correct. And it's, again, it's not that we're trying to hide anything or do anything facetious. It's pure and simple protection on people and protection of officers. That's all it is.
I'll make a motion, we send a letter to the county commissioners, what the chief said.
Yeah, I'll second
Encryption.
Why do you want to get rid of it?
I'm not really sure the exact reason.
Chief, you'll sit down with me and we'll
Absolutely.
draft a
You
letter
gotta vote
together.
on it. Gotta vote on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no, motion
One other
carried.
quick question about that. What was the catalyst behind this? Is it just
Yeah.
the current
I
events?
think it might be the current state of society.
Current events? Okay. Thank you.
Sure. We are continuing issuing new policies through the Lexipol program. It's going well. I've been sitting with Officer Lehman over the last few days for a few hours at a time, going over the new policies, reading them. He's sitting on a laptop, or he has a laptop in front of my computer, and we're going through those. And for the ones that haven't been issued yet, we'll go back to the old policy manual and review that. That's an ongoing process. Use of force training is ongoing, as we know, in reference to the things that are going on in society, and this is something we always do every year. Detective Neff is a certified use of force officer through our department. He has been for many years, and due to his years of service in that type of setting, Officer Zachary Weaver has expressed interest in becoming the new use of force training officer. So there was some training in September. He's unable to make that. So I'm actively looking for when they're putting out for the beginning of next year. And we do still have time before Detective Neff would potentially retire. By no means am I saying anyone is retiring. I'm just saying potential. So we're trying to plan ahead in that regard. The use of force training is usually between 4 and 5 hours. It's done at a private jiu-jitsu studio that we use, so it is actually physically reviewing and practicing not only the use of force policy, but self-defense tactics and how to do things correctly. That's what we want to do. July 26th, Detective Neff will be returning to patrol. That was his request. So it might take me a little while to stop calling him Detective Neff, but calling him Officer Neff. But he's been doing that for 17 years, and he decided that it was time for him to go back on patrol. So I put the request out to the officers. If anyone was interested in becoming a detective, the detective position. Officer Brandon Van Osdal expressed interest because of his experience. And he was the only person that put in for it. I accepted that, and he has been promoted to detective and has been, he's being trained by Detective Neff for about a month. Detective Neff is also willing to continue that as it's needed throughout the next couple of months. So I greatly appreciate that too, because his experience and knowledge and expertise is bar none top notch. So we had two trainings. I think it was last Wednesday, this past Wednesday, yesterday. In the afternoon, the founder from Blueprints Addiction Recovery came to the station, and I learned through the chiefs of police in reference or about this program. That's the pamphlet I gave you. They came out and they did about an hour and a half presentation to our officers. And basically what this is a different program than everyone's used to in reference to addiction recovery and rehab, if you want to call it that. Part of the program for Blueprints is the Second Chance program. And again, I could talk to a couple of the officers, and actually at first included myself, who were skeptical. Skeptical because that's kind of our nature sometimes, but this program is different, and it was successful for many different police departments and is ongoing. And they received a grant from the governor. I think the grant was in somewhere in the range of $400,000 to continue their program. And I guess Lancaster is kind of the pilot area, and I'm hoping it goes farther. But basically what they will do is, if we're on call, whether charges are going to be filed or otherwise, and we have an opportunity now to call the individuals, the certified recovery specialists, through Second Chance, and they will respond to the scene. They will come to the scene of where we are, they will come to the station, they will meet someone somewhere who is in need of their services, and they will help them get to the beginning of the process to deal with their addiction. And we actually, like I said, last Wednesday was the first training or presentation we had, and we actually have used it already. So I can't speak highly enough of what I've heard of it. So it's a resource that is tremendous to us, and it doesn't cost the police department anything. And they come out and actually sit down with the person and talk to them. So hopefully this is a way to get some people back on track with where they need to be in life. We will be going to civil disorder training at the Pennsylvania State Police Academy. That's being set up through all the departments in the county and through some of the county representatives, and that's going to be ongoing. And I actually think that might be it. That's all I have.
Any questions of the chief? Okay, thank you, chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Tony, zoning officer.
Yes, good evening, everybody. You should have a copy of my report. Another busy month, but I'll keep it short based on the time that we have already. We had 46 new applications, 46 permits issued, 15 in review, 10 for pickup. 7 new single-family dwelling units were permitted in the month of June. A lot of sheds, a lot of fences. Everybody wants a shed and a fence. Commercial signage also. 11 certificates of occupancy were issued. I had 10 false alarm violations for the month of June. June, we had no new zoning hearing board cases, but July, the beginning of July, we did have 2 cases. The first case was Brian and Lucinda Asper, requesting special exception of the East Cocalico Township Code 220-21B for an adaptive use at a property that they purchased. That was granted with conditions. The second case was Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Martin. We're looking for approval for a dog breeding kennel at their property, which is in the ag zone. That decision is pending. And I do have one case scheduled for August. Mr. and Mrs. Marsh Mulzer, owners of the property, requesting a substitution or replacement of a home occupation, and they'll be before the board, zoning board, for the August hearing. As I said, going down through, Mr. McCray and I have visited various retention basins and facilities in the township of Morganshire, and that is Park, Four-Way Manor, and also a property on Frederick Avenue, having a swale going through a person's backyard. Needed some determination on how to alleviate some of the flooding issues there. We've looked at those. 326 Hill Road was damaged by a falling tree. Now, this is right next door to the house that has just been replaced by a tree that fell on that house. I have yet to get an application for the repairs on that. I believe the insurance companies are doing it out there. I'll just skip down through. Since the roadmaster position has opened up, I've taken over some of that responsibility to work with the other road crew members and keep them busy. They certainly have enough work to do, but just keeping in contact with them. So that's a part of my daily routine, checking with Dan Tasco and the other guys on schedules for the day, for the week. Becker Engineering, myself, and Ken McCray met with the Morganshire HOA representatives to discuss the on-site maintenance of all their basin facilities in that community. As you know, HOA officers come and go pretty quickly. And it was nice that they called us to get some sort of idea of what they are responsible for. So it was a very good meeting on that one there. The building inspector, Commonwealth Code inspectors, and myself went out to Wabash Landing. The first multi-unit apartment building was completed, got the certificate of occupancy. We went out there to check that out. Very nice units. They really are building some quality construction out there, but that one is already being rented as we speak. I believe it's got one or two leaseholders on that one. And at the end of the report, you'll see I did include basically the road crew activity report. Mr. Tasco had supplied that to me, and it's just give you an idea of some of the things that they did do throughout the last month. One of the items that was on an active list were the Welcome to East Cocalico Township signs. We did have some newer ones in good shape, and they replaced some of the ones that were in pretty bad shape. Now what we're going to do is basically evaluate, if needed, to replace a few more. Again, we'll get an idea, because there are a couple of different styles right now, sizes and shapes. So I'll bring that before the board, a little bit of a list, make you aware of what we have and what we possibly may want. Okay? Other than that, one other thing I'll add to this, we did have a breakdown with the backhoe about a week and a half ago. A brake line was rusted out, lost brakes, got it over to Stafford's Repair up there on East Church Street. They were able to get the two parts. Actually, we had them do both brake lines while we were tearing it apart, do both brake lines so that we a little bit of preventive maintenance. No additional cost on labor. Obviously, the part was a little bit more, but they had it back to us. It's back in service already. But again, they're trying to stay on top of things and keep hanging myself across what's happening. And if you don't have any other questions, I'll leave it at that.
No, I would just say that was a nice job finding a local vendor like that to be able to help something. I know that the suggestions were out there that perhaps the Harrisburg vendor or somebody that charges a lot of time to come out. And,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it was a nice idea to right here, somebody working in our township to.
They were able to get us in very quickly, and it's back in action.
Yeah.
One particular company you're talking about charges a $150 flat rate just to roll the truck out, and then it's $125 per hour that they're on site. And it adds up real quick.
Yes. Yes, we've seen that in the past.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about our community. We have a lot of local contractors and repair places that can fill the gaps very easily.
June,
Jim came back regarding the signs that you said for Welcome to East Cocalico.
Yes, Jim?
Can we possibly get added to that sign, no solicitation? Denver has it. We are, in Rose Hill, we get a lot of people coming through trying to sell us windows, decks, you name it, weed killers, all kinds of things. And they typically come when there's nobody, after hours, I should say. And I'm no offense, but when I call our number, I get somebody down in Lancaster who could care less about what's going on here.
Okay.
To get an officer to come to the development, to Rose Hill, to get them to get these solicitors out.
Well, you know, to do solicitation like that, June, and you're probably aware,
Yes.
if they come to your house and want to leave a piece of paper on the door, that's perfectly okay. But as soon as they knock on that door, they're soliciting, it's against the law, I have to have a permit for
Well,
that.
I understood from an officer who is now retired
Yeah.
that nobody's allowed to step on my property. So if they come to my door, they're on my property.
no, I think he was wrong.
Huh?
Yeah, they have to actually knock.
They have to knock.
Well, some of them do not.
Oh, they
Some of
do.
them
Oh,
spray
absolutely.
stuff on the house, you know, they're trying to show you that their cleaner works.
And you know, that's happened, and I've called our police department, they've come out and questioned the solicitors and made them understand. You know, they made a mistake in knocking on my door, of all people. I handled permit, and now they get an education.
Knocked on my door. How do you think that went? Well, I asked about the permit, he said, I think my boss got one. I said,
Yeah,
I
that's
guarantee
what
it, since I signed him, he didn't.
That's what they usually say, my boss got one. And they don't even realize that they're not in Denver. They always think they're in Denver.
Yeah.
They don't realize that East Cocalico Township
Well, Denver
exists.
has no solicitation too.
They do, but they have that on their signs.
Yeah.
It says on their welcome to Denver signs, no solicitation.
Yeah.
Might be something to consider.
That would be an
It's,
add-on.
I've
but I
asked,
don't,
huh?
they
I've asked this
won't, it won't
before.
matter because they don't read.
Well, that's true, but at least it's there.
No, but at least you,
That's
Yeah, it's-
fair notice.
It's a fair comment, valid.
I'll check into it,
Thank you.
June, no problem.
We could possibly look at that, June, while we're looking at the old signs. Once we get through some of these old signs about, we had talked last year about putting up some newer signs, at least in some key areas entering East Cocalico, some larger ones, some nicer ones. So that might be the time to incorporate something like that.
Thank you.
Yep.
We have a lot of senior citizens in our development and throughout the township that live alone, and it makes me nervous to see these people coming through in the dark,
Yeah.
knocking on doors, or trying to get business drummed up.
Just a phone call, as soon as you see them, make a phone call to the police.
Well, I do, but like I said, most of the time they come when there's not anybody here. And then I have to talk to somebody in dispatch down in Lancaster, and then they're like, well, is that a law in East Cocalico? That's what they've asked me.
We say yes, it is.
Do I know, why is that even an issue?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Before
Okay.
you move on.
The other, I have one other thing.
Sure.
The property formerly known as Fox Farm, I see, has been tabled till at least September. I've seen that property has been probably farmed at least 10 to 15, 20 years
Right,
since I've lived across the street from it. This year it was not farmed.
correct.
The place is a mess. The weeds are this high. PennDOT has cut down 10 feet right away. But other than that,
June, it may have something to do with, I just noticed here recently that the property actually did sell. So we have new owners, and that's probably why Mr. Gaiman, Mr. Martin, who used to farm that area, didn't farm it. He was probably told, hey, it's basically in transition, maybe that's why it wasn't farmed. Okay, but I can make a phone call to try and get them to cut it down and get it looking better than what it is now.
I mean, I know that our surrounding area with the bog turtle can't be trimmed,
Exactly.
can't be improved.
Any wetlands can't be
And I
touched.
hope that you find a bog turtle across the street. But I guess that's not gonna happen. I
We
just
could
wish,
put one there.
well, many people have volunteered to do that, but
Be careful what you say.
yeah, be careful what you say. It's a mess. And all those weeds are blown across, people really try to maintain their property well, I think, in our development.
Sure.
We have no homeowners association, we don't need one, people take care of their properties. And all that junk is blown across the street, we get enough of it from the parks that's preserved. So
The conservancy.
if we could do something about that, I'd really appreciate it.
Okay.
I agree with you, June. Tony and I, we talked about it earlier in the week. There is a lot of weeds there that need to be.
I get nervous just thinking of who's driving down that driveway. Why are they in there? And you certainly can't see them now with all those weeds.
In June, to address that also, we've had some police activity, I'm sure the chief can confirm. Now that it's finally been sold, because obviously the previous owner was out of the area, really didn't care much about it. I was able to get them to demo a few of the buildings that were in bad shape over the years. Mr. Mackley was aware of that too, because it was such a mess.
Yeah.
But the house was used as fire training, if I'm not mistaken, and that's basically where it sits now. And it's a problem. So now that we have some new owners, I have some new people to reach out to and make them aware of what should be done.
Thank you, I appreciate it. If we could get some of that cleaned up.
Mr. Fryer, real quick.
Yeah.
I apologize, I found the sticky note, that was my reminder, and I had it buried, but I just wanted to add to my report that last night, the officers did a speed detail on 222. The top speed was 110 miles.
Oh, my goodness.
Nice.
Another speed, the second top was 99.9, and the other top speed is 93. So they issued 12 citations throughout the time they were there, and one of those individuals didn't have a driver's license.
Oh.
But the top speed was 110.
What kind of car was that?
Yeah,
Oh, VW boat.
Nissan Juke.
Chief, is there any truth to the rumor that the 93 mile per hour one was a young man on a bicycle?
no.
Scooter, it was a scooter.
I thought it was sound.
So it was amazing, but
Oh my God. I'm glad it wasn't my ticket.
no, it was quite a fun.
That'd be a nice fine. Okay, list of bills.
Okay, on the treasurer's report, we had a general fund of $124,498.38, a light fund of $12,211.69 for a total of $136,710.07. Any questions?
Yeah, Ms. Mack.
Yeah, Jeff, if you don't mind, on the first page, who is Diana Reed and Associates?
That's, oh, go ahead.
Diana Reed and Associates is a CPA firm. We
Okay.
had them come in and help us through the transition with Elizabeth's passing. There was a lot of general journal entries made, and I just needed to know what those were, and so I knew what processes we had to go through. So they came in and this really helped identify a lot of things for us.
Okay, well, that's good. Is the new person working out pretty good?
She is,
Good,
she is.
great. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Any other questions? I'll make a motion, bills be paid as presented.
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Fry, one notable payment here was the Ephrata Bank for $31,000 and change. That is the final payment on a bond issue issued in 2010, $4.3 million for the now defunct 1975 Reading Road. So that is finally off the books, done, paid for.
Good.
Reading Road or the Denver Bridge?
Then check.
No, not the Denver Bridge, is the pit road.
That was the other one.
That is the pit road.
Yep.
That's the other, the big one. MS Ford discussion. Ken?
Yes. Just yesterday, we did the final report for the Garden Greener grant for the design and permitting for the stream restoration project in the Williamstown Municipal Park. It's good to get that completed. We're still waiting to hear on the grant application that we put in that we hopefully will hear from in the next month or two. whether that's gonna get funded to actually do the construction part of it. I've been busy with inspections. Latest one I was on out at Acme. They have over 80 stormwater inlets. We inspected 80 that were inspected and photographed, and in addition to a number of basins. And also surprisingly, there are 2 off-site basins that they are responsible for the maintenance on. It was part of the deal when I constructed the project. The original project proponent that agreed to take on the maintenance of 2 basins which are on private property, but adjoining Lesher Road in that area. And so they knew nothing about that. It was kind of a surprise. Casey sent me, or Brent sent me all the documents, the stormwater easement agreements and all the paperwork with that. And so I forwarded it on to them, so he's gonna send it off to corporate for them to stare at for a while before we go out and do inspections there. I guess one other minor note, I went down to Lancaster last week to assist someone with an assessment appeal. And it was a person who recently bought a lot in a subdivision that has a stormwater basin. And they apparently weren't well informed as to what it really meant to have a stormwater basin up in the yard. And we've heard this story before. And so they were seeking relief on the value of the property because it makes it a much bigger lot, so it looks more valuable, when in fact it's a giant liability. So I went down and made comments for them about the nature of the situation, and they generate a letter in about a month for the response, but the comments that were made seemed positive, that they agreed with the concept. And I had talked with the owners, and they were interested in taking a tax savings and putting it into an escrow account in case they did actually need to do something with it. Seems like a worthwhile thing for the township.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
those are the main things going on. I still have a lot of inspections to do. The people that, when I sent them a letter about inspections that didn't get back to me, I have to start tracking those folks down. And also sending out reminder letters for the people that were inspected last year, that this year they have to do the self-inspection and send forms in. It's on the list, was on the list to do this week if I hadn't been so busy with all the other stuff.
Any questions of Ken? Thank you, Ken. Brake retarder, Church Street.
So that is something I do want to keep on the agenda, because, you know, we do need to, but like I said before, if we're going to go down this road, we really need to get a whole list of roads together where we want to have these installed, because it is a process to go through. So I will keep that on the agenda, because that is something that needs to be addressed, but right now that is just not high on my priority list. As far as the electric stations, again, you can see that Lisa did research that back in March. There are grants out there for that. One thing to consider is the spaces that it's going to take up here. If you would want to put them here at the township building, I can tell you today every single parking space out in our lot was taken. So that's something you want to consider before, and then we would have to apply for grants for this, because it's just not in our budget to install these. So looking for some direction on the board for that. Keep it on the agenda or take it off for now.
Leave it
Leave it here.
Yeah, and I thought we had a list of now the other locations that have
Other locations
The hybrid-
around town.
hybrid stations. I think the Hilton has it now.
Yeah,
The True Hilton does.
yeah, there's a couple different
Okay.
spots. So, yeah, I mean, our township does have them.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
do that.
pictures.
Leave it on.
Yeah.
Leave it on?
Yeah.
All right.
Can I ask a question about that?
Mhm.
Isn't there a vehicle that you have plugged in? Would that be different?
Yeah, that's just to, in the winter time for that vehicle to start,
Okay.
because it doesn't get used that much.
So it would
No, it's
pertain
not
to
the
this?
same.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
tell as far as the bus service. Lisa did have that request into them, and they will include the request as part of the annual route and schedule the change evaluations, which take place in August of every year.
Okay,
So I am gonna take that one off the agenda, because she did do that.
okay. New business, opening the parks and playgrounds. What did the governor do yesterday?
So,
Something different.
so we are officially in the green phase.
Yeah, we're green phase.
With some
Today.
slight modifications from yesterday. They're not going to apply to the parks as far as I could tell.
Mhm.
They are specifically related to indoor dining reduced to 25 capacity, bars, not us, telework mandated if possible, and then gatherings are less than 25 indoor and less than 250 outdoor. So what I think we should do now is we should formally send communication out to the community, open up the parks, okay? But what I think we should be doing in conjunction with that is we do need to invest in, there are now new signs out there for COVID-19 that are placed in parks. We need to investigate that and make sure that our parks are properly marked for social distancing on parks and trails,
Yeah,
okay?
yes.
And enter at your own risk.
Mhm.
Like, we're not
Correct.
cleaning carpet, but
No, well,
No,
playground, but
no, and that's what most of the signs are, that
That's
they're
what the
not, they're
signs
not cleaned, and, you know, make sure you use good hygiene, your own hygiene,
so
and,
I have authorization to purchase those.
yes.
yeah.
I've received quite a few phone calls concerning the basketball hoops, nets, all that.
Correct.
Mhm.
So it's time now, it's time to open it up.
But we need to wait till I have the signs before we open it.
Correct, and they should be readily available.
Okay, you're making a motion to open the parks after signage is
Obtained,
obtained.
correct,
Okay,
yep.
I'll second that motion.
Could be a while.
Huh?
That could be a while,
No,
It shouldn't take that
they're,
long.
yeah, they're out there.
month or so.
Couple weeks.
You could even put it, we could even print and then laminate temporary
Right.
signs, just to get the
Yeah.
kids out of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Marcy, who made the motion?
Alan,
No.
oh, I made the motion,
I
sorry.
seconded it.
Alan seconded.
Seconded.
All in favor? Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you.
Let's get these
I
kids
do
back
have a
to
suggestion to
school.
go with that. Should the township maybe drop a note to the Memorial Park Association?
That's a great idea. We should,
So it's private, but they should be in line with what the township.
that's a great idea, Ken, yeah, can we do that? And can we also,
So what's in the Memorial Park of,
And no,
isn't that their decision?
yep, no, but advising them that we're opening up our parks,
yeah.
just so they're aware of it. And then they can consider doing the same. And I think, there's another park, isn't it Stevens Stevens Fire Company has their
Yeah.
park.
Mhm.
And we recommended they close based off of our guidance, so I guess we should be recommending to them also that they go ahead and open.
So Stevens and.
Fire company.
Fire
Some other part of the park, yeah.
On the sign out at the Memorial Park, there was a comment there that the park is open and the facilities are closed.
Yeah, that means the kitchen and stuff.
Right. And the buildings and the
Yeah.
restrooms and the other stuff like that.
Woody Waste Access Card Procedure Discussion.
So right now, we have cards that are due at whatever, 365 days a year. You know, and I propose that, from here on out, we prorate for this year, and then all cards are due January 1. That's one issue. The other issue is she still has to run down there with the computer. You can't do internet because of the chief's radios conflict with that. So we would have to run a hard wire down. And I think that's big enough
Okay.
for and under
Well,
driveways.
Can you do hard run all the way out there?
You can, but I don't know what the cost is gonna be.
It's just an Ethernet line.
Yeah, but won't it need a booster for that distance? No?
Just run an Ethernet line down electrical conduit.
Yeah.
And the road crew can run
The conduit is just beyond the police parking lot.
We did that trenching ourselves, the road. crew did
Yeah,
trenching
they put two
ourselves.
conduits out through.
So we can do that ourselves?
Well, if there's conduit there now, you can snake it through the conduit, hopefully, that's the
There's
easiest.
conduit there now?
I
That's
believe
how
it.
there is. Isn't there two conduit, didn't we put two conduits out there?
That's how
run it down.
the actual gate.
And you can get
Electric,
Ethernet cable off the internet at 500.
Comes into the corner of the garage, because before everything ran, it ran like crazy and it came into the garage. So it's right in the
So
front.
who would I have to get a hold of to see if we can run an Ethernet cable through that conduit?
Over one of the road crew will go down. see
Well,
what
customers
comes with this.
Tony, get together with the road crew guys and I'll get you the information on what you need.
Well,
on
let me,
that cable.
let me get with the program to make sure that that's what the, all I
Okay.
need. Okay.
I think
I'll tell you exactly
See,
what
it
you
had-
need.
what happens is she has to manually put the cards in or take them out, and to do it each month is ridiculous.
The program,
Yeah.
right.
That's
So I think if we do that, I think it's a good idea. I think if we do that, we need to have an explanation to the residents in the letter in terms of why we're going to an annual basis.
Well, it's already an annual thing, it's just the due
But
date
the
is,
due date, we're changing the due dates now. We need to
Correct.
explain why it is we're doing that.
Yeah.
just go by the calendar.
Because people forget when they.
Exactly, that's why we're gonna make it
It'd make
January
it a lot
1.
simpler in January, yeah.
Make it January 1, it's simpler for everybody, and
That's
send, and we prorate it right to January 1, and everybody
Yes, sir.
starts over.
Is there a way she can just hook into our Wi-Fi? I don't know if it goes that far, but it possibly could. Is that gonna help at all or do anything?
Well, we said about Wi-Fi, and it's apparently something, your signals, the police signals are interfering with it.
Who said that? I'm just curious.
Whatever we had in here, I guess it was our IT, I'm not sure,
Okay.
or our cable people. Who's
Can I
our-
access your Wi-Fi? I'll check it. No, I mean,
Oh, no, yes, you can access, I thought you meant, yeah, yes.
no, I can access it,
Yeah.
because I'll
Yeah,
just
you
take
can
my
do it.
laptop.
We can take our laptop out there and see if it.
If
somehow
they-
reaches.
No, she wants to be able to sit at her
I
desk and do
understand
it.
that, but if, you know.
Well, if their Wi-Fi reaches out there, you can put a transmitter in the corner of the building to transmit our
If
Wi-Fi.
it was cheaper, I just,
Okay,
you know.
well, that has to be resolved, so
Yeah.
we'll look into that. All
But
right.
I think it should be annual.
And we can go to
She's-
January 1.
She's sitting here.
Yeah, that's true, I don't think that's gonna work. I was thinking if you're, even if
This
you have a
buil-
booster, it's not
This
gonna come
building's,
up
this
for,
building's a Faraday cage, it's not getting.
sorry. I take that back.
Okay.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
People have complained to me that they're not gonna buy an access card just to put cardboard in the dumpster. Has the amount of recycling cardboard gone down since we have the card?
Most people are parking just outside the gate, walking the cardboard up, which I know is inconvenient, but that's what they're doing.
That's what they've been doing.
I've been here already where someone comes in and asks that question and they give them a fob to go out and put it in.
Temporary.
Yeah, they can get it.
As long
They're
as
just
they
too
bring it back.
lazy to go recycle it, that's probably, and they don't understand that if they don't fold the cardboard up when goods comes or wherever
Yeah,
the collector is, that
goods.
they're not gonna take it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Yarnell Security Access Upgrade.
So we had the new fob put in, the new reader put in downstairs to get upstairs from the police down here because that was a security issue. Well, the problem is, our fobs don't read that.
Well, they should have read it.
Well, they don't. So in order to correct that, we need to get this reader up here changed, that they're programmed together, and then I have to order all new fobs. So, yeah.
When the
So-
guy installed it downstairs, he said the capability of it isn't, you can't have two different fobs. The township's fobs are different than the police department's fobs.
Oh, I see.
So
Well, we have to do it that way because the
Right.
township can't have access. to
No, I know that.
Right.
I know that, but that door was supposed to be created for the fobs up here, not the fobs down there.
Well, and can it just be switched then?
I know. He told me this is the solution, that they get a new reader up here.
How much?
The new reader's $225, and then I need at least 30 new fobs at a cost of $300, so
What
it'll get
happens
$579.
If he puts a new reader downstairs to go off of your current fobs, if that's what you want to do.
Well, that's still $225.
But you don't have to buy all those other
I don't
fobs.
have to buy all the fobs.
Yeah.
I'll ask for that first.
Yeah, it's got,
If he
yeah.
doesn't, do I have authorization to spend $600?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's a security issue, it's gotta get done.
Yeah, it's gonna get cold in winter. Oh,
Do I have
really?
authorization to sign this should I need to?
Hmm?
And I have authorization to sign this should I need to?
Mhm.
I'm gonna try the other way first.
Yeah. Okay, road master, public works director.
So as you gentlemen know, that position's been open. It was duly advertised in the Lucas newspaper on May 14th and June 7th. We received probably about 10 applications were received. Interviews have now been concluded. At our last executive session, you gave me a directive to extend an offer of employment, and that offer has now been accepted. So there is a motion before you if you choose to accept this person.
The motion is to hire Brent L. Offit
Offer?
to a full-time position, East Cocalico Township Public Works Director, with the effective starting date of August 10th, 2020, provided that all pre-employment testing and background check requirements are satisfactorily met. I'll make a motion.
I will second that.
Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. The next supervisor meeting will be held here August 6th at 9 a.m. Public comment. Yes, June.
Okay, could you tell me what percentage of the township property owners paid their spring taxes thus far?
Can't answer that yet. We're close to being able to answer that.
Yeah.
But I can't
It's
answer that
pretty
yet.
many. It's,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's,
we're not,
because the majority of that is done through your mortgage, you know, that's part of your escrow. So the majority of that has been paid,
yes.
but I can't give you totals just yet. But we're nearing that task being completed now that we have a new bookkeeper back there, so.
Okay. What was the vote when it was decided that Rose Hill would not be resurfaced this year? I want to know who voted for that and why.
I think all three of us did because of the wage tax income. We didn't know what we were getting from earned income tax for the year, so we decided to defer that for next year. That way, we didn't end up with a big deficit at the end of the year.
But it was put in the budget last year.
It was put in the budget, but it's based off of our liquid fuels monies, what we get in. And without people going to work, there's less fuel being sold. So that check that we're expecting is going to be significantly less.
But you're going to redo Old Homestead, which was project number 3, correct?
The project numbers weren't going by the, what needed to be priority, correct?
Yeah,
That's
they
the
went
word
by
I was
the
looking for.
priority.
Okay, well,
Old
I'm
Homestead
sure the
was-
funding was put in for that as well. Is that not based on what you just said also?
Yes. And
So
then-
why is that getting done and Rose Hill's not getting done?
The priority for those roads is higher than Rose Hill. The necessity to do that was more.
Based on what?
We had an evaluation by
Engineer.
engineer from Ritu. He looked at them and prioritized it.
Do they have as many patches that are the size of,
More.
It was his conclusion that that was in worse shape there and needed to be addressed as a priority.
I just can't understand why we can't be done also.
Well, I think you have to understand where the revenue stream comes from. You know, in a normal year, we get 1.7 and change in earned income tax from wages. And when people aren't working, that money's not coming in. And we've talked about different projected shortfalls, and it's only projected of, what, 15, 20, 25% perhaps.
So you can't collect it off of people that are collecting unemployment,
No.
Nope, sorry.
that are getting more money than they probably would have been getting if they'd have been
I
working.
Yeah, but we didn't get
But
any.
we can't get that then.
So, you know, if you look at 20% of 1.7 million, you're at 340,000. Perhaps that could be a shortfall that we're facing. So I think we're just trying to be a little prudent here and not spend money we might not have coming in.
How much money was put in the 2020 budget for unforeseen legal fees the township might incur?
We'll have to get back to you on that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, we have a line item for unforeseen legal fees. just
We have a line
legal-
item for legal
Just
fees.
legal fees.
We can get you the number for legal fees.
That's online. It's on our website. Our budget's on the website.
Okay, well, then could somebody answer me that now?
I can't
See
access
if I
it
can
here.
I'm gonna see if I can pull it up for you.
Now, I looked at the website today because trying to figure out whether this meeting was going to be on YouTube or not live. And I kept clicking on the line that said, click here for information, and absolutely nothing happened.
Well, the website said that this is not gonna be on YouTube Live.
That's correct.
Yeah, and then later on, if you read into the thing a little bit further, it indicates it's gonna be.
Yes.
It's like a little confusing.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to tell Lisa.
That's
correct
all right,
that.
it's just a comment, I'm not
Yeah.
criticizing.
Well, no, that's good to know,
No,
so it
thank
can
you,
be
Doug.
corrected.
Yeah.
But then it kept saying, click on here to get more information, and nothing happened. So you couldn't get more information.
And you remember legal fees are listed in all different categories, so you're gonna have to go through and add them all up. How about I get that for you, June, because
Thank you.
it's listed, legal fees are listed in different areas. They're listed in the police area, they're listed in administration, they're listed in public works. They're listed in many different areas, and that all has to be added up.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure. Do you have we have your contact information.
Yes, we do.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
And there again, June, you know, it's just like everything else, even though it's in the budget, doesn't mean we're gonna spend it this year. We're really trying to be frugal this year. So,
No, I'm sure you're trying to be frugal every year.
Well, we do, but-
I'm just concerned that our development is not getting repaid
yeah, so,
because it's getting worse and worse.
I appreciate it. We understand that, so.
All those stones that are still sitting on all those patches gets in everybody's tires. They
Yeah.
bring that into their garage, which comes into the house. It's a mess.
The worst case of the street.
So I hope you put money in the budget next year, for next year, to get this redone. And I'm gonna make sure that you follow up on this to make sure it gets in there.
Okay, we will.
Thank you.
I'll go
Yep.
down through and add them
Okay, we're gonna recess now to go to
Okay.
exec session.
all. Well, let's adjourn because it's just discussion and they'll make
Okay,
their
well,
decision.
okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. No, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I hate these things.
Sorry.
Well, I know this, but I'm not gonna get-